I Have Asthma by Jennifer Moore Melanas. There are more than 6 million kids with asthma in the United States and Canada, and I am one of them. I found out I had asthma last summer during soccer practice. It was a hot day and we were doing a lot of running. At first I thought I was just tired, but then I started having trouble breathing and I couldn't stop coughing. I felt like I couldn't get enough air. I panicked. From across the field, Mom and Dad must have seen me struggling to catch my breath, because before I knew it, they were standing right next to me. I never knew my parents could run that fast. They told me that I had to go to the hospital. While Dad drove us to the hospital, Mom sat in the back seat next to me and tried to calm me down. Mom told me to close my eyes and take slow, deep breaths. At first it was hard to do, and I didn't think it was going to help. Then after a while, it started to work, and I was able to breathe better. Even though the hospital wasn't that far from the soccer field, it felt like it took forever to get there. As soon as we arrived, the doctor came to see me right away. The doctor told me that I was having an asthma attack and that I needed special medicine to help me breathe. The medicine the doctor gave me was different from any other medication I ever had. It wasn't like the flavored medicine you get when you have a cold, and it wasn't a pill either. Instead, it was medicine that I breathed in through my mouth using a small thing called an inhaler. The medicine didn't really have a flavor, and it was easier than swallowing a pill, so I was happy. Just before we left the hospital, the doctor explained what had happened to me. The reason I was coughing so hard and having difficulty breathing was because the air I breathed in was having trouble getting to my lungs. The tube that takes the air to my lungs was swollen. The medicine helped me because it took away some of the swelling in the tube. On our way home from the hospital, Dad asked if I wanted to stop by the field to see if the team was still practicing. I wasn't sure I was ready to see my team. I was scared that once they found out I had asthma, they wouldn't want to be friends with me anymore. But before I could say no, Dad pulled into the parking lot and started beeping the horn. When the team saw that it was us, everybody stopped practicing and ran to the parking lot. While Mom and Dad got out of the car, I stayed in and waited, with the windows closed. I thought if I waited long enough, they would leave me alone and go back to the field. But they didn't. Instead, they started cheering and calling my name. I had no choice but to get out of the car. Everybody was happy to see me. The whole team, even my coach, gave me a hug. With all the excitement, I almost forgot I had asthma. I was just like the other kids again. But then my coach asked if I wanted to finish the practice with the team. I didn't want to be the one to tell them that I couldn't play soccer anymore. So I looked to my parents for their help to break the news. Instead, my parents told me that the doctor thought it was probably okay for me to keep playing soccer as long as I took my medicine before I played, and if I started coughing or had trouble breathing. I was glad that I could keep playing soccer, but I was scared. I didn't want anybody to know I had asthma. I didn't know what to do. While I was trying to decide, one of my teammates came over to me and quietly asked if I had asthma. When I said that I did, he told me that he had asthma too. I was so surprised. How could that fastest runner on our team have asthma? My teammate told me that he's had asthma since he was really little. He said he can still do all the things he loves to do, like play soccer, as long as he uses his inhaler before practice and games to help stop the asthma from starting. Just in case he starts coughing or has trouble breathing, he brings his inhaler with him wherever he goes. Since that day, I met a lot of kids who have asthma, just like I do. Some kids are even born with it. Did you know that dust and pollution can cause asthma for some kids? For others, it could be the weather or even exercise. I know more about asthma now than even before, and there is still a lot to learn. But now it doesn't seem so scary to me anymore. I still play soccer with my team, and I love it. And no matter where I go, I always make sure I have my inhaler with me. A lot of kids have asthma, but having asthma doesn't have to mean that we have to stop being a kid or stop having fun.